Hi there, this is Dr. Jessica Guerrero, and I am your instructor and facilitator for pathophysiology this term. I do want to thank you for signing up to take this course with me and tell you how super excited I am to work with you. But just to kind of give you a heads up, I want to walk you through our Canvas course and kind of introduce the way the class is set up so that you can get familiar with it before we hit week one. So on the homepage, which is where I am right now, and of course my screen looks different from yours because I have the instructor view, so there's quite a few more widgets and gadgets everywhere. But you have the most recent announcements. Usually the 3 to 5 of them are present. As you scroll down, you have the course learning outcomes, a little welcome message, and then you have shortcuts to each week's module that you can access this way. All right, so that's the homepage. The announcements. On the announcements, once you click this link, it takes you to all of the announcements. The most recent ones are on top. The oldest ones are on bottom. I have made multiple or posted multiple announcements in this class, and I will tell you I am not an announcement happy type person. I will only post if it's necessary for you to know that information. So if I posted it, I'm asking in a most academic and professional manner possible that you read it. It is expected that in an online course, you do review that content to figure out what that message is about. It usually has quiz reviews, passwords, directions, shortcuts, and the such. Okay, so as you're after we finish this video, I do want you to go back through and read through the announcements. And actually, there's one that I will mention and walk you through towards the end of this video. On the syllabus tab, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. When you click syllabus, it does take you to the syllabus. So you can read through that. It gives you my contact information, and it tells you that this does not have a lab. It also explains what you should know, what resources you should have access to. Grade scale, I'm just going to scroll down. This is a list of all of the assignments for the term, but as you go a little bit further, it shows you what we do in each week. Okay, so that's a syllabus. And at this point in your life, you're pretty familiar with what syllabi communicate, but you're completely able to access that at any time. This modules button, I feel like this should be where you start your day every day besides your announcements and messages, which you're expected to check. The modules just have it broken down into nice, smooth, rolling chunks. So this first one, welcome and getting started, of course. Hey, welcome. And this is how you get started, which is what we're doing now. Then you have this syllabus and course expectation acknowledgement. This assignment right here is due the first Wednesday of your course. So that's this coming Wednesday. You can do that. It just says that you've read over the syllabus and so on and so forth, but it is required in order to be certified for attendance in this class during week one. So please get that taken care of. Also, as you scroll down a little bit further, there's a module called Course Resources. This doesn't move, and it is kind of helpful, especially in the beginning, but as you go throughout the course, and I'll show you where you can find some fun stuff in there as well, but a link to the bookstore. I'm going to come right back to this one. But getting started with the Respondus lockdown browser, which is required for this course. All of your weekly quizzes, as well as your midterm and final, are recorded. Keystrokes, video, and so on to make sure we're adhering to high levels of academic integrity. You will use Panopto to record your week 8 project. Well, it's due week 8. So you'll probably do that in advance. Any institutional resources available through West Coast University, there's links to those there. Online tutoring, the link to tutor.com, all of this is free to you. And then glossary, audio glossary, and a resource gallery. I'm going to come back to Path 370 notes and lectures because I feel like this is kind of a gold mine that a lot of students overlook. When you click here, it takes you to information that I've uploaded in your class that you have access to. These are the recorded lectures. It's actually Dr. Armida Belleville who has lectured for them. And then here are the PowerPoints that she doesn't include, but that go along with your textbook. So you'll have the notes that she has, that she presents in hers, as well as the notes that the publishers provide. And you can download those. I find that students find both of these resources, those that are pretty organized, extremely beneficial. Sometimes it's overwhelming. So if it's too much for you, it's not required, but you do have a certain amount of content that's covered each week. So I have it broken down from week 1, week 2, week 3. I'm pretty sure you could figure out how it keeps going from here. Okay. During week 5, we learn no new content. It's just a midterm and you're getting ready for that. Week 6, 7, 8. And during week 9 is the final. Your final is comprehensive, which means it covers content from the entire term. But I'll come back to that as we'll meet each Wednesday. It is optional, but we do meet each Wednesday to kind of cover the content that will be on that weekly quiz. All right. Again, I accessed this, the notes in the video lectures by clicking on modules and scrolling down to course resources, and it's under Path 370 notes and lectures. All right. As I scroll down a little bit further, again, I mentioned that these modules just have it chunked into these nice little chunks, well, kind of big-ish, as of what's due each week. So week 1, it's a welcome message, and then you have all of the assignments that are due for week 1, week 2, and so on. Okay. The Metabytes is, if you're not new to West Coast University, Metabytes is an app that you can download. West Coast University actually created this to help our anatomy and our pathophysiology students with terminology. So there are different versions of Metabytes. For this course, you will need the pathophysiology version. There is a unit assigned each week. So there's 8 units. There's 10 activities in each unit. And you can download this app to your phone, to your computer, whatever, and those instructions are right here. But once you complete the entire unit, so all 10 activities, there will be a summary screen, and it'll say activity 1, activity 2, 3, 4, all the way through 10, and it'll show stars. You have to submit a picture of that screenshot in order to earn credit for this assignment. You do get full credit whether you completed 80 or 100% as far as competency and mastery. Okay. So that's Metabytes, and the instructions again are here. Here's the QR code to download it. I'm going to go back to modules. Then you have the weekly episode. So for West Coast University Pathophysiology, we created individual episodes each week that reflected and covered content that we discussed in the lecture. So it is a video, usually anywhere from 6 to 12 minutes, and there are questions embedded within that video. Once you get through the video, you click submit answers, and it will immediately grade your assignment and put it into the grade book. If you do not hit submit answers, it doesn't get graded and it doesn't get to the grade book. So make sure you do that. And I have this reminder every single week on this portion so that you don't forget. Okay. Going back to modules. The discussion boards. So the discussion boards, you are in pathophysiology, which is the last science before you enter core. So the discussion boards are a little bit more rigorous than what we've had in previous classes. And I just want to be upfront about that. There should be absolutely no direct quotes in your discussion board. You should not be quoting definitions. You should not be quoting, hey, I read this in the book. It should all be paraphrased. It should be in your own words, and then it should include an in-text citation as well as a reference at the end. So here on your first discussion board prompt, it wants you to watch the weekly episode and then discuss each of these. There will be citations required for this if you didn't know them previously, which the idea is that you didn't. That's why you're in this course. So you have in-text citations, and then you'll have a reference list at the end. You have to integrate the weekly episode as well as in-text cited and cited at the end in order to meet or exceeds expectations on this post, in order to get the maximum number of points. If you just answer these questions, you only meet expectations, and that does not maximize the amount of points you can get. Then throughout the week, you have to respond to your peers. In other classes, it has been okay to respond to everybody on Saturday or everybody on Sunday. So you've only been active in the discussion board 2 days. In pathophysiology, that is absolutely unacceptable. You have to be active in the discussion board a minimum of 3 separate dates. So if your initial post is due Wednesday, you peer respond on Thursday, you peer respond on Friday, 3 separate dates, or Saturday. The minimum number of posts that you can have is 3, and that's going to meet criteria. So that means you created your initial discussion board post and you responded to 2 peers on separate dates. And of course, everything is cited in an APA format. If you want to get exceeds expectations, you have to be active more than 3 dates, or you have made 4 peer responses. Because once you get in core, it is 100% imperative that you dialogue and you have academic and professional conversations, and you're able to do that not only face-to-face, but virtually. And that you can cite the content, that you're not just a know-it-all that knows all the answers, but that you're proving that there's evidence to back up what it is that you're saying. During our first week, if you have questions about this, I have office hours, and I'll explain those at the end, that you can join in order to get some additional clarification. But I'm going to repeat this one more time. You must have everything cited in APA format, including the weekly episode, and I will provide that citation for you in the announcements. You may not use direct quotes. You may not quote stuff. It has to be paraphrased in your own words. And I know that I say that, and I even feel like it's kind of aggressive that I'm saying that, but please don't think that I'm an aggressive type person when it comes to that. I'm just setting the expectation because I already know where people fall off, and I want you to be successful. Okay. So going back to modules. 1 second. Okay, about to start a meeting. Then check your understanding is just some questions that you can go over and over multiple times to practice to get ready for the quiz. I do want to but state to begin with that these questions are not your quiz questions. So do not just study this and think that that'll be enough to be prepared for the quiz. Okay. There is a quiz review that I will release on Wednesday mornings that you will have a video and you can access that to help review for the quiz. And then we'll also talk about for pathophysiology. I believe our optional course meeting is every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time. So that'll be on your calendar that you can click on. The Respondus Lockdown Browser is your required quiz for each week. It is timed, it is monitored, and we can talk about how to study for that in the future. Then also this weekly quiz, or this is the practice quiz for the Respondus browser to make sure that you download it and it's working correctly before Sunday when all of this is due. If you have any issues, we need to get that worked out with IT. And even though you're in an online class, if you're having issues, you are able to go to the actual campus and test if necessary. We just have to make arrangements in advance. Okay, then each of the following weeks follows in this same type of format. The last thing that I want to do, and a lot of these buttons aren't active for you, is go back to the announcements. And it says, welcome, please start here, how to succeed in pathophysiology. And I talk about how to get in communication with me. Please be aware that I teach anatomy, I teach physiology, and I teach pathophysiology. So I do not know you by name usually until in course association, usually until like week 3.5, 4. So please make sure in all of your communications that you include your course and your section number. I completely break down everything that I put in this video here in writing. Okay. So I just want to put reference to this. I also want to say that academic integrity is a high priority for me. I don't want to be associated with students who cheat. And right before you move into core, they meet with me about your performance in this course. So no matter what you have to do, don't copy and paste, don't cheat off of a neighbor, don't find a previous student submission. Once you get flagged, it'll be a direct meeting with me and then on to conduct, because they don't want you in core if that's what you're doing. APA citations, hopefully by this point, you're pretty proficient at that, but if not, don't be afraid. Reach out to me, reach out to our librarian, Kyle, and we'll get you covered. Okay, every week I will make an announcement that'll tell you what's due, but you also have it broken down into those modules. My office hours are Monday and Thursday this semester, I believe from 10:30 to 12. And then I think Monday evenings from 6 to 7:30. But again, our optional course meeting for pathophysiology is Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Central. Time management is imperative for your success in this class. There is a lot to do, and some of you are not just in this class alone. You also work and you have a family. It is doable. We just have to take care of ourselves and be organized. So I do have a suggestion of what to complete each day. I'm kind of setting goals so that you don't become overwhelmed. No matter what, every single term, something's going to happen. A kid's going to get upset. There's going to be a crisis. There's going to be an accident. Someone's going to pass away. Someone's going to get sick. There's going to be buy or sell of a house. There's going to be domestic issues. I understand, and I want you to communicate those with me. But if we know in advance, you have a plan for completing that coursework, it's very difficult to fail when you're ready, you're set up for success. Okay. I apologize for this taking so long, but I do appreciate you listening and kind of getting a layout for what this course is like this term. I look forward to working with you. I'll see you in week 1, and reach out to me if you have any questions.